Attention passionate Detroit, Lions fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Detroit Lions' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Detroit Lions fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Detroit Lions fans. Let's get to the news now, guys. As we all know, the offseason and the start of the 2025 NFL season have been anything but predictable, especially for the Detroit Lions. Last year, that heartbreaking loss in the divisional round of the playoffs still stings for many fans. It was a game that could have gone differently, but ultimately, it was a combination of mistakes, injuries, and strategic shortcomings that led to that bitter defeat. Jared Goff, who had been the steadying hand for Detroit all season long, just didn't look himself in that playoff game. His lapses, especially those 4 turnovers out of 5, really put the team in a tough spot. You could see he was rattled, and when the chips were down, he wasn't able to carry the Lions like many fans hoped he would. That game was a reminder that, even with a 15-win season and home field advantage, everything can be lost in the blink of an eye if you're not firing on all cylinders. Injuries also played a significant role. The loss of Aiden Hutchinson, who suffered a fractured tibia and fibula, really hurt the Lions' pass rush. Hutchinson has been such a force on that defensive line, and without him, the team struggled to generate pressure on opposing quarterbacks. Against Washington, Jaden Daniels took full advantage. He was surgical in the pocket, going 22 of 31 for nearly 300 yards with a QBR of 91.8 and a passer rating of 122.9. It was almost poetic how Goff, despite throwing for over 300 yards himself, 23 completions on 40 attempts, 1 touchdown, and 3 interceptions, couldn't match the efficiency of Daniels, especially when the game was on the line. That margin for error in the playoffs is razor thin, and when you add those 5 turnovers, you're setting yourself up for disaster. The Lions, in that game, handed Washington 21 points through turnovers, and that's just not sustainable at that level. So, what does all of this mean for Detroit? Well, it's starting to raise serious questions about the future at quarterback. Goff has been reliable, no doubt about that, but in the postseason, you need more than reliability. You need consistency, athleticism, and the ability to elevate the team in clutch moments. The recent struggles have led many to consider whether a change might be necessary sooner rather than later. The offseason has been full of speculation, and now with the season opener against the Green Bay Packers, that question has become even more urgent. Speaking of that game, it was a tough start for the Lions. They looked completely shell-shocked in the first half. You could see the offense was out of sync, and that's not surprising considering the changes on the coaching staff. Dan Campbell, the head coach, is now carrying even more responsibility. His offensive coordinator, Ben Johnson, and defensive coordinator, Aaron Glenn, both left for head coaching gigs, Johnson with the Chicago Bears and Glenn with the New York Jets. That's a huge shakeup for a team that's been built around continuity and strong schemes. Without them, the Lions' offensive identity, which has historically relied on the run game to set up play-action passes, seems to be struggling to find its rhythm. On Sunday, the running game was particularly disappointing. Jahmyr Gibbs, who had been promising last season, only managed 2 yards per carry in the season opener, a stark contrast to his 5-6 yards per carry under Johnson last year. David Montgomery, who averaged 4.2 yards per carry last season, was held to just 2-3 yards per rush on 11 carries against the Packers. The Packers smartly took away the run, forcing Detroit to become one-dimensional and rely heavily on Jared Goff's arm. But Goff, who's not known for his mobility, really struggled under pressure. When Micah Parsons, the new Packer and a force on that defense, put pressure on him, Goff had no escape route. He was forced to throw the ball away in the dirt, showing that the lack of athleticism and mobility can be a real problem in today's NFL, especially when defenses are bringing extra pressure. This raises a big question for Lions fans. Is Jared Goff enough to take this team to the next level? Or do they need to look at other options, perhaps a younger, more athletic quarterback who can extend plays and make a difference in critical moments? Well, here's where things get interesting. Rumors are swirling about Shedeur Sanders, the talented quarterback who, as many of you know, is currently buried on the depth chart in Cleveland. According to ESPN's Aaron Goldhammer, Sanders has been throwing to equipment guys this summer because he's not getting the reps he deserves. That's a striking detail, but it also highlights how much potential Sanders has. He's raw, but with a skill set that could transform a franchise if given the chance. Now, Cleveland doesn't seem to have much appreciation for Sanders' talent, but this could be a golden opportunity for Detroit. Imagine, instead of waiting for a draft pick to develop, the Lions could make a bold move and trade for Sanders right now. Perhaps they could send Giovanni Manu and a fifth-round pick in exchange for him. That kind of move could solidify the quarterback position for years to come. It might sound aggressive, but in a league where the margin between Super Bowl contenders and also-rans is so slim, making a bold trade could be the difference between a team that's just good and a team that's great. Of course, that's all speculation for now, but it's worth considering. The Lions, with their young core, especially on defense with Hutchinson, are building something special. But if they want to truly compete at the highest level, especially with the NFC North becoming more competitive, they might need to make a statement. And trading for a guy like Sanders could be just that statement. It's about looking ahead, about investing in the future, and about ensuring that Detroit doesn't fall behind in this fierce division. Now, let's not forget that the season is still young, and there's plenty of football left to play. The Lions have shown flashes of brilliance, especially on defense with Hutchinson and on offense with Goff leading the charge. Yet the questions about consistency and the need for a spark at quarterback remain. Fans are eager to see how the team will respond in the coming weeks. Will they stick with Goff and try to rebuild confidence? Or will they pounce on an opportunity to upgrade that position and take a leap forward? Whatever happens, it's clear that the Lions are at a crossroads. They have all the pieces to be a dominant team, but the quarterback position might be the key to unlocking their full potential. And here's a little more on the context. Detroit's recent history has been one of rebuilding, of patience, and of hope. The fans have been craving that elusive Super Bowl appearance, and now, with a solid defense and a capable offense, they're just waiting for that final piece to fall into place. The addition of a dynamic quarterback like Sanders could be that piece. It's about more than just winning a game or two. It's about establishing a sustainable, championship-caliber team. So, as we look ahead to the coming games, keep an eye on how Detroit manages this quarterback situation. Will they stick with Goff, trusting their veteran leadership and experience? Or will they take the risk, make a bold trade, and bring in someone who could be the franchise's future? The possibilities are exciting, and for Lions fans, the anticipation is only growing. This season could be a defining one, not just for the team but for the franchise's entire trajectory. The NFC North is heating up, and Detroit is right in the middle of the action. The stakes are high and the fans are hungry for success. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Detroit Lions news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. In conclusion, folks, the Detroit Lions are at a pivotal point. The offseason was a whirlwind, and the start of the season has only intensified the questions around their quarterback situation. Goff has proven to be reliable, but the recent playoff heartbreak and the struggles in Week 1 reveal that maybe the team needs a new spark. A young, talented, and athletic quarterback who can elevate the entire offense and bring a new dimension to their attack. Shedeur Sanders, though currently not getting the respect he deserves in Cleveland, might just be that guy. The Lions have the assets to make a move, and if they do, it could change the entire landscape of the NFC North. Fans, I want to hear from you now. What do you think about all of this? Do you believe Goff can still be the guy, or are you on board with the idea of trading for Sanders? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion means so much to us and to the Lions. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, analysis, and news about Detroit's quest for greatness. Stay tuned, stay passionate, and as always, go Lions.